Good afternoon. So, how are you doing today? So, today we are talking about truth of scriptures. I know you are happy the way I am. I am happy. Hi. Oh, King, how are you? I hope you understand English. All right, you're welcome, everybody. Today is an awesome day, a beautiful day, and I want every one of us to be happy and enjoy this day that the Lord has made because I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. And I believe you are also happy, right? Yeah. Thank you. I love you too. I love you, Rainy Catch. I love you. God bless you. So, how you doing today? How you doing today, Rainy Catch? And Kena King, I believe you hear me. You know what I'm talking about. So, how are you? I know you're fine. Yeah. So, what's up with everybody? Today we are talking about the love of Christ, the love of Jesus. You know, Jesus is all we got. Is all we got. You know. So, can I tell you a story of one accident, something that happened? Yeah, it was a painful story, but I gotta share it because everybody we all gonna learn from it. It's a true life story, and I believe you are also gonna learn from this story. Right? It's about you know the story of the people who were happy with how they were, how things was going, and they had to make a decision, even though the decision wasn't right. They just made the decision and they paid dearly for it. All right. So that is the story I'm here to share with everyone of us today. And if you want to hear this story, please can I have a thumb up? Please can I have a thumb up? Comment section and I'm really I'm gonna be happy to share this story with you guys. So can we have a thumb up or something on the comment section? Yeah. Everybody, I know you guys are there, all right? And I'm also here for you. So you got something very important to do here today. And I believe, I know that you, every one of you, are going to benefit. You are all going to be happy with this thing we're going to do today. All right. Okay. So let me go straight to the story. Yeah, there are these two guys. All right. Where will I'm chatting? I'm streaming live from Lagos, Nigeria. And this thing happened right here in Lagos, Nigeria. There are, conditions of so many people out here is not that conducive. So, the stories years back, this story happened years back. Well, two guys, they've been friends for some time now, very long time. They knew each other. They schooled together. They did almost everything together, and time came when their expectation wasn't coming forth because they had plans, they had things they want to do at some certain age of their lives, but those things wasn't coming forth and it wasn't working. So they had to make a decision, and the decision, like I said, the decision hurt them. All right, the decision they regretted taking the decision, but then it was too late. It was late for them. All right, so these guys, late in 2020, late 2020, those guys were hustling, they were doing everything they can do, trying every possible means to make a means to become big boys in town. All right, so those guys, after doing everything they could, both good and bad, nothing worked. It wasn't working. They tried everything, it didn't work. So they started asking questions because they see their friends, the people they know, driving cars, doing all sort of things, and they were wondering. They wondered why are things happening for those guys, but then nothing was happening for them. So they had to make a decision. But the decision they made was a very wrong decision. They paid that decision, that thing they they worked, they planned both good and bad for to turn around for them, but it didn't happen. So they made up their mind to whatever. So they went to ask their friends what they would do to have money. And the friend told them that there's a man somewhere who has been helping people who are desperate like they were. He told them about the man. And because what he told them was his truth, he told them what the man do, that the man was not a clean, was not a good man, but up. They decided they want to do anything it takes to have their intentions come to pass. So they accepted and they said they would like to do it, they would like to meet the man and gave them the address to the man and they got to the man. They went to the man and when they went to the man, they told the man that he was directed by a friend and they want to have money. They want to have money. And the man asked them if the person who directed them told them what is required. He said, yeah, that he talked to them, he told them some of those things, and they've made up their mind to do it. And the man, okay, after making some incantations and some other things, the man came to them and they were to bring a human skull. And once they get those items and they bring them to him, he was going to make them a billionaire. So they accepted, even though they knew the risk, but their minds were made up, so they accepted and they went in search of it. But because of how dangerous it is to get such items, they were, discreet and they had to be very careful. So they started asking questions. So some of their trusted friends, and one of their friends told them where to get it. He told them that items can be gotten from a cemetery, a cemetery. And the friend directed them to the cemetery and he told them that the person was going to help them get those items that they should go and meet the person. So they went and met the person. They went and met the guy, the man who was in charge of it. And the man showed them two cemeteries because there were two, and the, the, the evil man they went to meet told them that each of them will bring one each. So the guy told them, he pointed to them to a cemetery and asked them to dig and get what they want. So they had to dig. They began digging, each on his cemetery. So they started digging, and they got to the items they needed. and they took the items. The first one took his, the second one took his, and they left. They left and got back to the man who sent them. They left, they took those items to their homes first. The next day, they went to meet the man who sent them. And when they got to the man, they presented the items to the man. And the man took the items from them and asked them to wait, to sit down. So they had to sit. They were sitting there on the floor. And the man took the items to another room and made some incantations on some of those things. He made some things to those items. And after a while, he returned back with the items and gave them the items each and told them to go home and make a box each of them, because they were not living together. So when he asked them to go to their houses and make a box each, and after making the boxes, that they should put the items inside the box. So they go home and make a box each, and each of them puts the items in the box. But also told them need to do daily, daily for 2 weeks, daily for 2 weeks. So when they go home, make boxes, put the items in those boxes, and the hands the man gave to them, they were doing it daily for 2 weeks. They were doing it unfailing. Just every day they were doing those things he asked them to do. So they were doing it. And after 2 weeks, fortune fell on them. They became wealthy. They became wealthy. They started living large. They started, buying cars, living in their choice houses in place. They started, and that was how it is here. So after a few months, tragedy struck. They struck. They started seeing things. Even in their cars when they are driving, they started hearing voices. A man always telling them, I want to rest. I want anything they hear all the time. This thing was so bad that they can't even sleep. They couldn't sleep. It was horrible. Everywhere. They were embarrassed in so many places, so many occasions. Because they started living large, they started going to to places where rich people, gather all those stops. So it became so horrible for them, and they went back to the system. Whom sorry, my bad. The network is not strong. So they got back to the man and they explained to the man what was going on, how they were unable to sleep, how this thing tormented them, the voices they hear, and all those stuffs. And God, so the man told them to come back after a few days. So they left, and the day he gave to them, they returned back. When they got back to him, they told the man, and the man told them what he wanted him to do for them. And they said they want the man to help them cut off the voices they've been hearing. He told them that there's nothing he could do. They have to bear it and live the way they were. But they couldn't because the voice was terrifying. It wasn't something to bear. So they pleaded with the man to help them. And the man said, okay, that the only way to help them was one, to return those items to where they got them from, and they will have rest. But after doing that, they were going to return which they were, but this time around it was going to be horrible. It was going to be worse than what they were. And they say, how can they return back to poverty, in fact, to abject poverty after living a life of affluence? These few months, it wasn't possible for them to make a decision. It wasn't possible. So, what do you advise? What do you advise them to do? You advise them to return the items and return back to the life they were living, or you advise them to keep the items and still lives of horror that they are presently living. So what do you advise? Please, I want to see your advice on the comment section. Let us talk about it. Because I've been shouting, I've been talking about this all this while. There's no safer ways out there. There's no safer way out there but Jesus. Jesus is the only way. Jesus is the only way out. Don't be deceived. The devil cannot give you, the devil will never give you a thing and not take something greater from you. The devil is a deceiver. He's a manipulator. The Bible calls him a serpent. A serpent. And the Bible advises us to be as wise as the serpent. So if we are to be as wise as the serpent, it means the serpent have a level of wisdom, a level of wiseness that is as beyond this world. And as a child of God, you ought to have the ability to discern. So what am I saying? Jesus loves you. And there is no greater love than that which Jesus came to offer. There's no greater love. He came down all the way from heaven to here to this earth and died for you and I. He paid the ultimate price. He paid the ultimate price so you and I can be free. So you cannot be in bondage anymore. You cannot be in bondage. There's nothing the devil will give you and not taking it, that it is something greater from you. So why don't you surrender your life to Jesus? Why don't you see him as your personal Lord and Savior? Why don't you believe all the former things you've done passed away? You become new, brand new. This is the provision he has made for you, and it's free of charge. It is free of charge. Free of charge. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay a dime. He has paid it all. And that is how free we are. That is how free we are. Oh God. Don't you want to be free? Don't you love freedom? Jesus is Lord. Yes, Jesus is Lord. Now, have you heard this song? Um, so you are welcome. You're welcome again. You're welcome. You're welcome. So how you doing today? Today we are just here celebrating and talking about the goodness and faithfulness of God. And the sweetest part of this discussion is you share testimony, you share what you have encountered in life, how things were with you, and how and what you are expecting. Let us play some game. Hello, how are you doing? Join me. Let's see. Yes. Right. Medicine just